So we're going back to our last shape, or our last quadrilateral. It's the kite. If you look, it only goes back to the quadrilateral. It does not go back to parallelogram. It's like the trapezoid. So the only thing it has in common is that it has 4 sides, and its interior angles add up to 360. So if we turn the page and open our book up to properties of kites, before we move on, you need to fix a little typo. Instead of 6, it's 2, because it has 2 properties of the quadrilateral. And then to start the properties of the kite that are specific to it, it has 2 pairs of consecutive congruent sides. So the consecutive sides are congruent. Well, what does that mean? That means that this side is congruent to that side. This side is congruent to that side. So they're consecutive and they're congruent. So if we go back to our main picture, this one's congruent to that one. This one is congruent to that one. Just like the picture makes you look to believe. Now we're looking at the diagonals. So your diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Kind of like the rhombus. When they intersect each other, they're going to make 90-degree angles. I don't know why I made them dashed lines. You can make them solid. But that means all 4 of those angles are each 90 degrees. They're perpendicular to each other. We'll go back to our main one. You can draw it in. All those angles are 90 degrees. The last one is that one diagonal bisects one pair of opposite angles. What does that mean? It means that this diagonal right here makes congruent angles. This is congruent to that one. This one is congruent to that one. Okay? Your one pair of opposite angles are congruent. So looking at our examples, if we look at number 1, it says find the measure of angle B and angle D. Well, because our diagonal bisects a pair of opposite angles, these 2 angles are the same measure. Since it adds up to 360, you can say 360 minus 85 minus 43 divided by 2 will tell you what each of the angles are. So for that, you get that it's 116. So this angle is 116 degrees. This angle is 116 degrees. If we look at number 2, it wants to know what's the measure of angle J. Well, it's the same as angle L. So if angle L is 82, then angle J is 82 degrees. And then it asks what's the measure of angle K. Well, at that point you have 360 minus 82 times 2 minus 71. So you get that angle K is 125 degrees. Then if we look at example 3, it's kind of the same thing. Well, it gets a little different. It wants to know what's the measure of angle PTQ. Well, that's a bisected angle. So it has it that not bisected, perpendicular. That's going to be 90 degrees. Then it asks you for PQT, which at that point then you've made a triangle right here. If you know, and remember a triangle adds up to 180, and this is 90, that's 37. So to find this angle, you can do 180 minus 90 minus 37, and you're going to end up with 53. So this angle is 53 degrees. And then it asks you, the last question, what is QRT? So this angle. Remember, these are reflections. They're equal. So if this angle right here is 37, then that means that this one is 37 degrees. Last but not least, number 4. It wants to know what's the measure of GDE. GDE. So when we do that, if this is 59, that means that this is 59, because remember, they're bisected. So 59 plus 59 is going to give you 118 degrees. We look at DEH. Now we're looking at this angle. Well, once again, go back to what we just learned was that, well, we didn't just learn it, but a triangle always adds up to 180. So you do 180 minus 90 minus 59. So you get that DEH is 31 degrees. Then lastly, it asks you DGH, so that's this angle right here. Remember, it's a reflection, so if this one up here is 31, then this one is 31. They're the same right here. They're the same. So then this angle is 31 degrees.